Live from Barclays Center Saturday at 8 Eastern, only on Fox and the Fox Sports app.
I might go over there. Might have a little cocktail with Brian Westbrook in Brooklyn.
I was
go
just
check
going to say,
out
you know who
team.
lives in Brooklyn?
Holler at their bad kids.
Brian Westbrook lives in Brooklyn.
One hell of a time, break the streak. Some boxing
Man,
match.
I almost had a
Brooklyn.
drink on Friday, man. My old lady almost got hit by a bus. I was like, give me a drink.
New York City's stressful life. Go ahead, Jenna Wolf.
Seems counterproductive for me now to talk about a couple big highlights from last night after his wife almost got hit by a bus.
She's fine.
We'll get to Baker and Kyler Murray in a second, but first, in case you missed it, Blazers, Thunder, and Paul George. Hustles back, stuffs Al-Farouq Aminu's layup.
He's been arguably the best player on this basketball team. I know Russ is averaging.
Arguably, it's not even close. Even with a triple-double, man, Paul George, come on.
Okay.
Okay, there we go. There we
I don't
go.
think you're
Act like I wasn't
disagreeing
paying
with me.
attention.
Russ Westbrook says
job,
he
though.
gets a
He's been
clear
the
path to the rim.
This
Takes
dude,
off for the
man.
other thing.
I'm juggling
Slam.
so many plates. Sorry, Jenna. I'm trying to compliment Paul George.
Oh,
Chris
yeah.
hops up. Not compliment him enough for my taste.
Oh, Cole Beasley over here, the ownership over here keeping him down. Oh, yeah. They decide to do the clips of who they like.
This is unbelievable. I don't even know what you're talking about. Here's Russ attacking the rim.
Come on, today's your show. You only got two sources. We got one of them on the show.
Mavs and Clippers. Luka Doncic with a nice behind-the-back move to split the defense.
That's my guy.
That's
Luka.
your guy. I might walk off the set, guys.
I'm telling you, my research department, they put me on him, man, when he was playing over in Europe. I've been watching him since he was 15. I'm not talking about you.
But I'm the one who put you on him.
Man, I don't even like you. I talk to the other staff, man. Get somewhere. Me and Luka. Let's do this, Luka. I've been with you,
A
homie.
hard turn.
You think?
I
Started
don't
with
even
the
know what
bus.
just happened.
Moving on to Kyler Murray. It appears that the 2018 Heisman winner, who was drafted and signed by the Oakland A's to play baseball, is in fact going to play football. Despite concerns about his height or the lack thereof, his former teammate and Heisman buddy Baker Mayfield had some high praise for him. Baker said, he's a winner, and if you don't see that, something's wrong with you. See, what are the biggest challenges that will face Kyler Murray in the NFL? We know the height, obviously, is the biggest one.
The biggest challenge is the 99-year history that we've had in the NFL. We've never had a guy 5'8", 5'9", play quarterback and be able to play that role and play it well. No, so it's not just his height. It's that history says that this is a game of big, powerful, explosive players. Now, can we get a guy to play the most important position who is height challenged? No one knows that. If anyone who says that they know he can play quarterback, they are guessing, because what he's going to have to learn is something he's never done. He's going to have to throw blind, because there is no offensive line in the NFL that he's going to be able to see over the center, over either one of the guards or the tackles. The tackles are the tallest, so they become a problem in throwing to the outer third of the football field on your left or right, because you have to throw over his head. So we haven't even talked about route anticipation. We haven't talked about timing with receivers. We talked about a physical challenge that he has to be able to overcome. And you know something? It's on every single team. Lamar Jackson, who is probably 3 inches taller than him at least, and has a little three-quarter throwing motion, he has to overcome that in the pocket. You see him trying to pick windows to try to be able to flight the football. It is an issue. It's been an issue as long as the NFL has been about big players. And as long as he sits in the pocket behind that offensive line, he's going to struggle, and we're going to guess what it's like for a quarterback to be his height and to throw the ball down the field blindly, because we've never seen anyone do it.
And when you're watching those highlights, because I know some people are yelling at their TV saying, man, Oklahoma's offensive linemen are the same size as a lot of NFL guys. And for the large part, that might be true. But look at the splits. Look at the difference in how it's blocked in college football, how they're running plays in college football, and his ability to see there. It's not just because Oklahoma does have pro offensive linemen. They might have a tackle that's an NFL left tackle size. Might be an NFL left tackle.
They groom some offensive linemen for the NFL. Absolutely.
But so it's not, it is because he wouldn't be able, you could take an NFL offensive line, put it on Oklahoma, and he could have success. It's not because he can't throw over see over the top of their heads in a college offense. It's in the pro offense where he's got to throw from the pocket and where they don't have those wide splits and the wider hashes that make it such an issue. I want people to understand that. The other thing he's going to deal with is this. He only has 1 year as a full-time starter. He played briefly in 2015 at A&M. He played almost non-existent last year because of Baker. And so he has 1 year starting. That 1 year was behind the nation's best offensive line. They won this new award, the Joe Moore Award, most outstanding offensive line in football. So he has an experience issue. He also, the size is the concern. I believe in Kyler Murray in every aspect of his game, except for the size. But that is aside from that, Miss Lincoln, how was the play situation? It can be an eliminating factor. We would not have a second thought if this were in basketball. We just take it as a given. Like, oh, this guy is a dominant college center. He's 6'4". Okay, he ain't playing in the NBA. Like, and we've seen those guys. Like, because we have seen the height threshold lowered slightly over the last few years. We saw Russell Wilson. We saw Drew Brees 18 years ago. Then Russell Wilson. Then Baker Mayfield. We're like, oh, guys under 6 feet can do it. Can do it. Don't mean guys under 5'10" can't. I hope I'm wrong. This guy, I love this style of football, and I like a guy that is trying to take what I believe to be the harder path. I think the easier path for him would be baseball. He's already got $5 million guaranteed. He'd have to give some of that back to take the harder path. But it can't be, oh, he can be Doug Flutie. He don't want to be Doug Flutie. And any team that wants to spend a first-round pick on him doesn't want him to be Doug Flutie. And Doug Flutie had 1 year as a full-time starter that was average. That's it. That is not what we're... Could he be a competent backup? Sure. You know what I mean? Like, fine. But that's not what we're talking about here.
No, I don't want him as a competent backup.
Because it's totally different style. I understand.
Yeah, absolutely. Then I have to change my whole system, and I'm going to spend the first-round pick for a guy that's going to be a backup? No.
No. Of course. So given what we're talking about him not because maybe he can be one of the 90 best quarterbacks in the world. It's can he be one of the 20 best quarterbacks in the world? And we've just never seen it.
Did Baker Mayfield open the door for him in any way? They were both so successful in that Oklahoma system. You saw what Baker was able to do. Is there anything that you can see that he might be able to? I know height is not going to change, but his strength, accuracy, bulking up, is there anything he can do to overcome that?
No, I don't believe Baker helped him. I believe ultimately Baker's going to hurt him. Baker Mayfield's also 220 pounds. I told you, I was on the field with him at Oklahoma. I touched the groceries. I touched them. Hey, man, let me see how this is. Now, how much you weigh and your height, it have something to do. Kyler, man, he's 195 pounds. We don't have any quarterbacks in the league that make a living at 190. So it's not only his height, can he take the wear and tear? So that's going to be a question he's going to have to be able to answer. He's slight of build. His shoulders are narrow. He's a small guy. Russell Wilson was over 200 pounds and has increased his weight since then. Broad shoulders, big arm. Both of those quarterbacks too. Now, to Kyler's credit, Russell, what does he have? Baker, what do they have? They throw the ball with a pure throwing motion right over the top. So that does make them taller. But we've never seen anyone, even with a good throwing motion that he has, be able to play in the pocket with that type of height. I don't think you can do it.
And a couple inches on a quarterback's height is enormous. You joke all the time about me being 5'9". So I'm just over 6 feet tall. Chris just over 6'2". When we're walking down the street, nobody thinks I'm taller than him. Nobody thinks, like, there's an obvious difference. And so when we're talking about, okay, so Baker Mayfield, he was undersized. This guy's 2+ inches shorter than him. And to me, Baker's height is about the minimum threshold. We're now going, maybe he'll prove us all wrong. And maybe we'll find out this isn't a thing. For 100 years, it's been a thing.
No, we're not going to be wrong about him throwing in the blind spots. We're not going to be wrong about that.
About
the football game he is getting ready to encounter is not something I'm foreign to. Can someone sit in the pocket and be blind and anticipate throwing the ball down the field?
Someone has convinced him that he can do it, and he has chosen to now do this instead of taking what seems to be the safer path.
He hadn't decided football yet.
He decided he's going to go in the draft.
He decided that he's going to be in the draft. He hadn't decided he's going to be an NFL player yet.
Correct.
So if he's a first-round pick, he's going to absolutely give it a shot.
Correct.
And if not, I think he'll be able to fall back on baseball. If he did it in the reverse order, I don't know that he could have. I don't think he could have gone to baseball and then decided in 3 or 4 years, I'm going to go play football.
All right, let's take a break. Coming up, which Cowboy is claiming